Hi, my name is Chris and welcome back to the channel. On this channel we focus on how to become a one-man band videographer, how to keep your equipment minimal while still producing the best high quality results. I just wanted to make this video on the back of the review I did on the last video of the Tamron 28-75mm lens. Since I made that video there's been an announcement of a new lens, which is the Tamron 17-28 f2.8 for Sony. Now, a little bit about this lens. It's going to be 17-28 full frame focal length. The aperture is going to be f2.8 across the ranges, and it looks like it might have an internal zoom, so it won't stick out. You can balance it on the gimbal and it should be balanced throughout the focal ranges. So I'm going to be talking about who is it going to be for, should you get it, and am I going to get it? Now, I think the main people that are going to be buying this are people that already have the 28-75 from Tamron. The 17-28 covers the wider side that the 28-75 really can't reach. And I think the combination of the 17-28 and the 28-75 will be an absolutely killer lens combination for travel, for weddings, and generally for keeping your equipment minimal. Another reason this lens is good is because it's a great alternative to Sony's 16-35 2.8 G Master. I've actually been holding back on getting the Sony lens myself because the Sony A7 III and the 16-35 G Master don't balance very well on the Xeon Crane, which is the gimbal that I use personally. So I've been stuck with the Sony 16-35 f4, which balances on the Crane fine, but I could really do with that extra little bit of aperture. So I think this lens is going to be a lot cheaper as well than the 16-35 2.8 from Sony. So it could be a great budget option, and if it's anything like the 28-75 from Tamron, which is very comparable in quality to the 24-70 from Sony, then I think the quality of the 17-28 will be very comparable to the Sony 16-35. So naturally I'm waiting for some tests to be done on more details like the autofocus, how sharp the lens is, and just generally the quality of the lens before I buy it. But my plan, if this lens has the same quality as the 28-75, is to replace my 16-35 f4 from Sony with this lens. And my reasoning for this is the f2.8 aperture from the new Tamron lens. It's said to be lighter than the Sony. It's going to fit on the gimbal, and it's a perfect combination along with my Tamron 28-75. It's worth noting as well that on the A7 III, where you can crop into APS-C mode, that this could reach even up to 42mm. So you get that extra bit of focal range. And if you have the 28-75, there's a little bit of an overlap there, so you don't have to keep switching lenses when you're traveling or filming weddings. So I just want to go through some disadvantages maybe. You only lose 1mm at the wider end, it's really nothing. If you're changing from a 16-35, then you're going to lose 7mm on the telephoto end, which might be a problem for you. Again, with the APS-C mode on the Sony, it shouldn't be a problem. You should have a lens that's a little bit more telephoto anyway. Even if it's not the 28-75, maybe you've got a 50mm that you can upgrade to. I've also heard that this lens is not going to have inbuilt stabilization. The stabilization on the Sony A7 III is pretty good anyway, it's okay. And because it's so wide, you're not going to notice too much shake anyway. I'm going to be using this lens for location shots and following shots on the gimbal quite a lot. And so image stabilization built into the lens is not really a deal breaker for me, especially at a lens this wide as well. So price wise, I'm predicting it might be around the £900 to £1,000 mark. And I think that's a great price for a lens of this type. It's cheaper than the 16-35 f4, and it's cheaper than the 16-35 f2.8 obviously. Release date wise, I'm thinking sort of middle of the year, early to middle of the year. I'd like to think they've released it about the same time as they released the 28-75, but I'm not too sure. That might be a bit too optimistic. Anyway, hopefully it comes soon. So yeah, this was just a video saying that they have announced this lens. I'm really excited for it. I will be replacing my 16-35 f4 with this lens, and I'm really excited to test it out. So as soon as I've got one, as soon as they're released and I've got one in my hands, I'll do some tests, post a video, and yeah, hopefully it's a really good lens. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, and if you loved it, subscribe down below for plenty more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one.